YouTube Success Blueprint. To learn more about growing your YouTube channel and creating passive income as a YouTuber, register for my YouTube Success Blueprint by clicking the link in the description below this video. Hey, what's up guys? John here. The real estate market's red hot and people are running out there, they're buying property at prices that are just unbelievable. It's a great time to sell property, especially in states like California and New York. And the reason being is because these states are changing. Under this new normal reality that we live in, capitalism is now bad. And if you are striking on a journey in life to make money, places like New York and California are not the places to do this through real estate investing. We see what's happening now with this eviction moratorium, but I think this is only the beginning. I don't think that this ends anytime soon. In fact, San Francisco is now considering to extend the eviction moratorium until September of this year. I don't think it ends there. And the reason I don't think it ends there is because I don't think they're going to start evicting people in the dead of winter. I think that in the winter, there could be a new variant, there could be a new reason to extend it again until the spring. Before you know it, it's 2 years that tenants did not have to legally pay rent. And that doesn't mean that when it's over, the tenants will simply move out. No, the longer this goes on, the more backed up the court system is. The more backed up the system is, the longer it takes to evict tenants. And you could sit another 6 months or a year after the expiration and then maybe have them out then. But this is where it gets really interesting, is when this all kind of lands, this airplane, more of like a crash, ends, what's going to happen is that they're going to start building out all these new protections for tenants to make it more fair. They're going to do all these things that they can do to level the playing field, as they say, to stop capitalism. This is what's going to happen. This is what's coming to America. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what is happening in San Francisco. So again, if you're thinking about investing, you're thinking about buying a rental property, be very smart and pick areas that you first understand, and second, you know the laws and the structures in place to protect your investment. Otherwise, you could be like one of the many countless victims in California and New York that are soon going to get wiped out and they're going to lose everything. So please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share the content, and the more people that see this, the more people that make a smart decision in this crazy new world that we all live in. Let's begin. San Francisco poised to extend the eviction moratorium till September as city opens up rent relief applications. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors will vote on Tuesday on whether to extend the city's moratorium on evictions an extra 3 months. If approved, the move would extend protections for San Francisco renters from the end of June until the end of September. The state's moratorium on evictions is expected to expire on June 30th. Under San Francisco's ordinance, landlords are barred from evicting tenants if they can't pay rent due to the pandemic, like job loss or sickness. Due to continuation of the pandemic and the spread of new variations of the Board of Supervisors finds it essential to extend the protections. See, they are really going to start to sell this new variant situation. This isn't going to end anytime soon. And unfortunately, right now, many places are opening back up, and people think that this is the end of everything. Everything's just going to open up and everything's going to go back to normal. It's not. This is going to be a roller coaster of openings and closings, is what I think is likely going to happen over the next probably 1-2 years, maybe longer. The proposed ordinance reads, the landlords will still be able to evict tenants because of violence, threats of violence, or health and safety issues. Now, it's very hard to prove any of these things. So unless you have it on video or you have multiple witnesses, landlords are just trying to make things up or say certain things so that they can save themselves from going through foreclosure or bankruptcy. By doing this, it's not going to work. That's my opinion. I don't think it's going to work at all. There is help on the way. The state recently announced it would devote $2.6 billion to rent relief, aiming to pay off back rent since April 2020 through March of this year in full, but it is still unclear who will be eligible for that help. Now, generally what happened before with the former bailouts is the big corporations, they received all the money, and it became very challenging for a lot of landlords to get compensated for their tenants not paying rent. They had to jump through all these legal loopholes. Their tenants had to fill out paperwork. Their tenants had to be proactive in getting the money to them. And in most cases, landlords just got stuck holding the bag. The state's program will provide up to a year of assistance. Tenants who need help paying their rent can apply for San Francisco's rent assistance program starting May 28th. Dipping in to over $90 million in federal funds, the city will provide up to 6 months of rental assistance for tenants who can demonstrate they've experienced financial hardship during the pandemic and are at risk of homelessness or housing instability. It's absolutely crucial that we keep people in their homes, and this funding will help ensure that happens. Mayor London Breed said in a release, nearly a year ago, the board passed legislation that permanently barred landlords from kicking out tenants for not being able to pay rent because of the pandemic-related obstacles. The ordinance, authored by supervisors Dean Preston, did not cancel rent, but instead forbid landlords from ever using missed payments as a ground for eviction. What's the difference? Absent of this legislation, there can be little doubt that when the moratorium that we have in place expires, there will be thousands of filings to give tenants notice that they have 3 days to pay rent or quit. Preston told the Chronicle at the time, "We need everything in our power to avoid this fate." Breed initially issued an emergency order in March 2020 banning evictions during the public health emergency, and for 2 months after it ends to avoid mass evictions during the pandemic. At this time, she also eliminated late fees and interest, giving tenants more time to pay back their rent. The ordinance comes as rent in the city are rising. After dipping through the pandemic, in March, San Francisco median apartment rent rose 3.4% from the previous month, the biggest increase since the start of the pandemic. What do you guys think about this? What I think is happening right now, it's really shocking. I try to put a smile on my face all the time, even when with crazy stuff like this, just because life is too damn short and a lot of this is outside of our control. So all we can do is make smart and educated decisions accordingly with the information that we have at hand and go on and live our life. But what I think they're doing right now in California is very sneaky and it's very smart for what they want to do. What they're trying to do is take over people's properties, and they're going to do it in the name of safety. They're going to do it in the name of fighting inequality and inequity by not allowing tenants to move out. So they tell tenants, hey, you don't have to pay rent right now. You're in a pandemic. Stay home. Stay safe. We're going to give you stimulus payments if you make less than $70,000 a year. So don't go out there and don't be ambitious. So they don't pay rent. Then they tell landlords, hey, we're going to give you money. You'll be fine. And they're just going to let the debt snowball and get out of control. And most of these landlords won't be able to keep up with their payments. But then you might say, yeah, okay, they'll go into foreclosure. So what does that matter to California? Just investors are going to come in and buy the properties. Well, when the pandemic started, Gavin Newsom started working on a new bill that he signed into law. It's called SB 1079. You should look into it. What it says, it essentially says that Big Brother has first right of refusal to go out there and buy distressed properties. So tenants don't have to pay rent, landlords are stuck holding the bag, and they have all these restrictions now on their business, and then Gavin Newsom is sitting around the sidelines waiting for everyone's demise. The longer this continues going forward, the worse it's going to be, the lower the prices are going to go, and the better for Gavin Newsom. Because the more he controls the people, their housing, their food, their money, the more people are going to be dependent on his actions. So he's going to turn into like a god in a sense. It's going to be insane. But I don't think that it stops there. I think this is only just beginning. And as they roll out these universal basic income packages, like the one they're working on right now in Los Angeles, where it's only for women, and then they're working on this one in Oakland. These are both in effect, by the way. The one in Oakland is only for people of color. So they're working on all these universal basic income packages, and they're going to turn this place into a welfare state, it looks like. We're going to see very soon what happens with California, probably the next couple weeks when this eviction moratorium gets voted on. It looks like that's going to pass. When that happens, and then we see what happens nationally with the eviction moratorium next month, we're going to see some big changes, and we're going to have a clear idea of where America is going. To me, it doesn't look good. You know, I launched a second channel on YouTube sharing with you exactly where I'm going to be investing my money and how I'm going to be protecting myself and my family, because I think we have to be very creative and very smart going forward. We can't trust leaving our money, unfortunately, in the same places that we used to leave our money. And the same investments hold different levels of risk, I think, going forward. So we have to be really just clever. So my second channel, I'm getting my pilot's license because I think it's going to be a pain to travel in the next 1 to 2 years with these new restrictions. If you've traveled in the last year or so, you understand how bad it's getting. So with that being said, I'm getting my pilot's license. I'll have that probably in another month and a half. I'm getting a plane, and then I'm going to be traveling around, meeting with smart entrepreneurs, seeing what they're doing, how they're investing, how they're protecting their family, and then I'm also going to fly around and make investments. So it's going to be a very, I think, valuable channel for people that are on the same page, that think, this is just the beginning. Things are just going to get worse from here. So if you're on that wavelength, take a look at the link below. Click the link, subscribe to my new channel. I'm going to start posting there almost daily, and you're going to get a ton of great value over there. Please smash the like button as well. Help me share this video and expose Gavin Newsom and what is happening to the beautiful state of California. I'll see you in the next video. YouTube Success Blueprint. If you've enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into growing your YouTube channel and create passive income as a YouTuber, check out my YouTube Success Blueprint by clicking the link in the description below this video. One of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, once said, "Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out a bucket, not a thimble." I get the feeling that many men and women today are using thimbles instead of buckets. The truth is that we're in a huge wave of opportunity. I'm not suggesting that the current situation hasn't caused any financial damage to people's lives, because it certainly has. You may be one of those who have been fired, transferred, demoted, or had his assets repossessed. When looking up my own channel statistics on Social Blade, you can see that I was able to grow from a mere 11,000 subscribers to 120,000 subscribers in just 15 months. You could do this too, and I want to show you how. My YouTube Success Blueprint is a complete A to Z guide that teaches you the necessary steps in order to get your channel up and running within a few days. YouTube is an explosive avenue where you can earn thousands of dollars based simply on uploading videos and monetizing them for views. Think of a bridge with a toll on it. That is a video that's monetized on YouTube. It also serves a great channel to capture leads and potential new clients. Personally, I'm receiving roughly $30,000 per month in video views through Google AdSense just by people watching my videos on YouTube with 120,000 subscribers. This number is likely only going to grow as more and more people become accustomed to using YouTube. We have roughly 2.3 billion monthly users on YouTube, and I could see that number hit 3 billion in no time. To learn more about growing your YouTube channel and creating passive income as a YouTuber, register for my YouTube Success Blueprint by clicking the link in the description below this video.